Hey, what's up, classic movie fans? My name is Rick9G. Thank you so much for joining me today. We're going to look at a really interesting topic focusing on the Three Stooges and the actor Moe Howard. He was the leader of the group, and we're going to talk about one of his real on-set injuries. Now, it was a complete accident, and the stunt that he was supposed to perform pretty much went incorrectly. It went wrong. Now, what they did, they actually included the actual injury and accident for the final movie, which is pretty incredible because one of those things happens and usually you cut it out. You don't leave it in there. So I'm going to talk about which episode this was from. We're going to go through the plot. We're going to look at pretty much the slowed down footage so that you can see this yourself, so that next time when you watch this Three Stooge short, you'll know that Moe really did get hurt here. So let's take a look at it. Now, I would love all of you to let me know if you've seen this when you had a look at this short. Now, it comes from Pardon My Scotch. It's a real funny one, and it comes out in the early chronology of the Stooge shorts back in 1935. Now, in this one, the Stooges were working as carpenters for about 10 years, left in charge of this drugstore. Now, when this liquor supplier stops by and asks for a drink, the Stooges mix a drink using all manners of medicines, chemicals, and they mix it in with this rubber boot. It's a fantastic scene. Now, the concoction that they make reacts, and it's so strong that it cuts through a wicker chair. Now, the Stooges realize that they accidentally invent a powerful new form of scotch, and they become, well, everyone's favorite. They have this disastrous dinner, which is really hilarious if you do watch it. And finally, the barrel of this lethal scotch is presented. The Stooges attempt to tap the barrel, and it results in a huge explosion, which engulfs the entire party in a sea of foam. It's really a good one. Now, if you think about where the accident happens, it happens during the beginning of this short when the Stooges are carpenters. Now, they're doing different things where they're cutting boards of wood, and this is the stunt that we're talking about. The boys are trying to assemble this door. Now, Moe asks Curly to saw a piece of wood for him. Curly lays the wood on top of a wooden table, which Moe happens to be standing on. Now, this is where the inept Stooges come to fruition, where they're supposed to fall, where some gag is supposed to happen. Now, as Moe is standing on the board of wood, we see Curly proceeding to use the buzzsaw. Now, he cuts both the wood and the table in half. Now, that's not really a problem. He splits the table in two. The problem is when Moe doesn't really notice where he steps. He steps right in the middle of the table where there's no support, there's no foundation at all. That was not supposed to happen. And so essentially he just falls right through. He comes crashing down on his entire left side. If you take a look here, I can slow it down for you. What happens is his whole body kind of drops like a board itself. And he does really hit the ground really hard. But what happens? His side hits the ground first, essentially his ribs. Now, in this shot right here, he broke not one, but 3 ribs. What happens during this time? Usually the actor would shout cut or I'm injured or something. But no, remember, this was the 1930s. Film was very expensive. They rarely wanted to stop film. So what did he do? He was the powerhouse that he was, and he actually pulled himself up and continued to film the scene. He continued to act out his part. You can see he pursed his mouth. He shakes his head a couple times. That was not really in the script. He was in deep pain right now. I mean, imagine breaking 3 ribs. So what he does, he double slaps Larry and Curly before fainting. This is, of course, the fainting they did not show. That's not part of the short. But as a result, when he did faint, they had to stop filming, and they did rush him to the hospital, and they ceased production for a little bit. Now, I don't know about you, but I don't know how many actors today would continue after breaking 3 ribs like that. Again, these were other days, and I commend Moe for continuing even that short scene. He literally continued until his body gave out from the pain, which is absolutely incredible. And the scene looks so good because the fall was real and the injury was there. They kept it in there because it looked funny, and Moe agreed to have it in there. But it was really amazing. It was such a good shot. It was such a good clip that they re-edited it that clip into the 1943 short Dizzy Detectives, and it looks great in that one too. Let me know what you think about this fall and Moe pretty much plowing through the scene, basically just being a powerhouse, not being a baby about it. Again, I don't know if I would be able to do that. I admire him so much, and just all the Stooges for the pain and suffering they literally went through for filming all their shorts. I would love to see your comments down below. Thanks so much for joining me. Don't forget to take a look at my Three Stooges playlist, where I have pretty much most shorts beginning from 1 through 60. I'm working my way through every single Stooge short. I think you'll absolutely enjoy it. We'll see you next time, and don't forget, be hopeful. Thank you to everyone for their support, especially my Diamond tier patrons: Greg S., Ricky, Sally N., Citizen Kane 359, David D., Kevin K., Vito L., and honorary patron Verbal Volley. If you want to be listed here, make sure to check out the links in the description. Thank you.